Hey guys, yo, it's Fabio from F4 Productions, and today we're trying authentic Mexican cuisines from Mezcal in Jersey City, New Jersey. So let's give it a try. So guys, we just sat down in the restaurant and I'm here with my co-guest star, Skye.
What's up, everyone?
So Skye also has a YouTube channel as well, more about thriller stuff, so let's learn more about that.
Alright guys, what's up? As you already said, my name is Skye. I have a YouTube channel called Camp.chiller Podcast. If you can see my hoodie, I'm rocking my merchandise. Don't ask if there's more out there in the world. This is the only one. But you know, if you're special, I might make you one. Alright? Now, when it comes to Camp.chiller, guys, it's a podcast where I write and tell my own scary stories. And I've always been a fan of scary stories, you feel me? It all started when I was young. My grandmother, God bless her soul, she practically raised me when I was growing up. And every single Friday, we used to have Fright Night Fridays. Back in the day, I remember the Sci-Fi Channel before it actually incorporated more sci-fi movies and before it actually turned into FY, it used to be SCI-FI, sci-fi, and they used to show Tales from the Crypt, Beyond Belief Factor Fiction, and other horror movies every single weekend. So since my grandmother practically raised me, I was staying at her house every single Friday. We had Fright Night Friday. We would just watch horror movies together.
Yeah.
She also pushed me in the direction of starting my own horror movie collection, and she was a big advocate for it. She bought me Halloween, Stephen King's It, Scream 2, Scream 3, and she passed away about a year ago. And my podcast is basically a memorial page for her. You know, I never told anyone that before, but it's a memorial page for my grandmother. Every time I post a story or write a story, it's as though if I'm giving her flowers or giving her her favorite chocolate. You know, we're inside of Mezcal, and they have a altar over there for Deos Muertos, Day of the Dead, where you offer the dead their favorite treats. And my grandmother's favorite treats, or one of her favorite treats, was scary movies and scary stories. So me doing this is, in a way, me blessing her with treats and things in the afterlife to enjoy. I've been working on this podcast since March, early March. You know, being inside for COVID, I had a lot of time to be very creative. Off top, you know, something told me to go in the direction of creating a podcast. Now, the podcast started off as a kid-friendly podcast because when I was younger, I enjoyed reading Goosebumps. And R.L. Stine is the author of Goosebumps. He also came out with Fear Street novels. That was more for adolescents and for teens. But I still got into it. And coincidentally, guess who got me into that? My grandmother. My grandmother was that catalyst for me to get into this realm. Now, back to what I was saying about Camp.chiller, it started off as a kid-friendly podcast, right, where I tell ghost stories because I teach. And one thing that I use as classroom management is telling my kids scary stories. Kids nowadays don't have scary stories around. You know, we used to have Goosebumps, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And we had so many influential thrillers, kid-friendly thrillers.
Yeah.
But we don't have that nowadays, you know? So I seen it as a market to get into. And I have about maybe 23 stories right now up there. So I'm coming out with a project on Friday the 13th.
Look at that.
And I'm dropping a book. All right, guys, I'm dropping a book. It's going to be about 8 to 9 different stories, and some of them are on my podcast, Camp.chiller Podcast, and the others are unreleased stories. So guys, please check out the book, all right? The name of it is called Camp.chiller Presents Frostbite, all right? And I want to keep up with the whole camp stories motif, which is why I'm releasing it on Friday the 13th. My goal is to make my own platform in a horror film. One way that I write, guys, if you guys are wondering, I just start to meditate and imagine myself in my grandmother's house and start writing because of that old nostalgic feeling.
No, of course, yeah. So guys, just in case you missed any details, I will leave all of his information down in the description below. Also to his channel and also for his future novel, which stay tuned for that on Friday the 13th. So guys, we have the Mexican corn of the cob. We have some chile, we have some mayo, we have some cheese, we have some lime in this. So this is kind of like one of the iconic street foods in Mexico. So we're actually quite excited to try this out. It looks pretty appetizing, to be honest.
And it does.
All right, so let's give it a try. So I never really tried one of these before. It's my first time.
It's my first time as well.
Yeah. So I like how all the lime, the cheese and mayo all come together. You see the spice. You can taste the spices in this. I love spices. So right now, this is actually hitting pretty good.
Now, I'm not really a corn person, guys. I don't like corn a lot, but this right here, guys, is scrumptious. This is amazing. It's like a dynamite exploding in my mouth every time you take a bite.
Oh yeah. Definitely agree with that. Because you see it all the time. People like to put like hot Cheetos on this or like any other different like flavor seasoning. Well, this you can tell like by this nice flavoring on this. See the speckles of chile. You have the nice toastiness of the corn here. Some herbs here, so it's actually really flavorful.
You know, it's really bold and savory. Like one thing that I like about it is the spiciness is not overwhelming at all. It just packs a little punch that keeps your tongue tingling but wanting more.
Yeah. So, like you said, you can definitely find this in like the streets of Mexico. These are really iconic, and I finally get to try it and actually see the hype about it. I finally get why people love this. I definitely have all of them played together as one harmonious taste. Delicious.
Delicious. One thing I would also say about this is I want to try other variations of this.
Yeah.
You know, like I said before, this is my first time trying it as well. I'm not really a corn person, but this is amazing. I want to know, do they have corn like this with other ingredients on it, or even spicier ingredients?
Oh no, I bet. Yeah, because like if you look up ingredients on how to make this, like Mexican corn on the cob, there's so many different ways you can make it. It's so intricate. There's so many different possibilities. They're endless, actually. So this is actually like just one take on the Mexican corn on the cob. So I definitely appreciate how it came out with it. Even just by looking at it, it's really aesthetically pleasing. See every detail of the flavoring all come together in one dish. So just like Skye said, I wonder just how many different variations that this can come in. So this is actually one of the cool things about this corn on the cob.
And even what Fabio said about it being aesthetically pleasing, the way it was brought out, you know, the presentation was amazing. I just like how it's standing up rather than laying down.
The symbolism behind the plating is there. Like, it seems like it's much more of a cool dish that's like standing up in this position rather than sitting down. Because you get to capture every side of this. Like if you're sitting down, you only can see one part of it. But the fact that it's standing up, you see all the sides of the corn. I actually really like that.
If they're laying down,
yeah,
there's no excitement to it.
Yeah, and the fact that they cut it in pieces so they can stand up all together rather than having just one big corn on the cob is pretty cool. It's really innovative in a way.
And very intentional, you know?
Yeah.
Very intentional.
I appreciate that, definitely.
They convinced me to eat mine. On the spot food review.
You had a review already. You have an episode.
I'm back again.
So guys, we're on to our next appetizer, which is the guac and chips. So this is actually the spicy variant. So I'm actually quite excited to try it out. Because like I said, I love spiciness. So, hey, have the first dip.
All right.
The honors. Well, look at all the jalapenos.
I love jalapenos, guys. Here we go.
You like rolling down.
Really?
Okay.
Similar to the corn, it's a bold taste. The spiciness hits you immediately, depending on how many jalapenos you have. This is very freshly made, especially the jalapenos.
Yeah.
I believe this is pickled jalapenos, if I'm not mistaken. I think it has some kick to it. I'm not going to lie. All right, have you guys ever eaten anything before you just felt this overwhelming heat throughout your body? All right, so if you have a cold or if you want to warm up, get yourself some of that.
Yeah, so that, like Skye said, the spiciness just comes up right behind you as soon as you take a bite in it. I like it. Yeah, you can tell the freshness of it. Even down to the tortilla chip, it's nice and fresh. I appreciate that. And it's not like the Tostitos like chips that you get from stores. You can test the freshness from this. Everything's here is freshly made. Just like explained from the menu.
Every single bite is a walk in heaven.
No, yeah.
This food right here, amazing. Like one of my favorite foods of all time is Mexican style food. I love tacos. I love burritos. Tortas, pollo tinga, pollo asada, El Pastor. But a lot of places that I go to isn't authentic.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of Tex-Mex, but this right here is the real deal.
One of the things I look into like Mexican cuisine to see how authentic it is, because we have a lot of these things like Chipotle, Taco Bell. Those are not real Mexican food. That's just the American concept of what Mexican food is like. But this is what truly Mexican food is like. This is, you see the freshness of the guac, the avocado, the jalapeno, all the vegetables that goes inside this guacamole. It's freaking phenomenal. So even down to the tortilla, like the simplest of food is just freshly made, so you can taste the freshness of it. So when you eat this, you can tell this is really light. It's not too overpowering. So it's like a nice balance of the guac and the chip.
What you guys drinking?
I was drinking a
Yeah.
pineapple burrito. I love burritos.
Yeah, that's the pineapple flavor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, so this is the grapefruit flavor. It's actually pretty good. It's like a Mexican soda. It goes well with this dish. Like, you have to have this when eating a Mexican dish.
Amateurs, you just gotta get the horchata, bro.
And I'm drinking, I'm also, I believe it's pronounced Jamaica or Jamaica. If I'm not mistaken, it's a fruit. And it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
That's the only word, man. You feel me?
Yeah.
Always say less than necessary. Boom. Amazing.
Yeah, like this is actually a good starter.
My food meter was right. This is fire. I like this.
So guys, our entree just came out. This is the skirt steak Azteca right in front of us, or in front of me. So this has some chorizo here. You have some vegetables. You have some, I believe this is like cheese. You have some, the steak over here. You have all this like combination into one dish. So I'm actually looking forward to eating this. So let's try it out. All right. So I'll take the first stab at it. So this is also cooked medium. So let's see if it's nice medium done on it. Look at that. So yep, that's pretty good. It's a nice cut on this. So let's give it a try. Wow. So the juices just explode as soon as you take a bite into it. You get a nice juice that the steak absorbed from the vegetables, from the sauce. It's really tasty. Good try.
Oh, nice and tender.
Right? Yeah, that juice, right? The sauce. That is a steak.
When a steak is this good, you don't need no steak sauce.
But look at this, all that comes with this. This is freaking crazy. And you get the rice too. Wow.
Is this the cheese?
I believe so. It has like that, like a fried cheese texture. So let me try a little bit of it. Oh, got some vegetables in it. Nice fried cheese. This is how like my grandma usually makes it. Nice and spongy, good. You have to try that, man.
You don't gotta tell me twice, man.
Like normally, like in Spanish dishes, we usually like to have like a side dish. It goes well with the protein, like just like disappears. Alright.
I'm speechless, man.
I'm a big chorizo fan, so let's try this out. Excelente.
Bueno.
Seasoned perfectly. And like, look at this. You see, it's tender. It just comes across. You see all the little like flakes of ingredients inside of it. Nice cook on the exterior of the chorizo. Not too hard, not too soft, but nice texture to it. So when you crunch into it, boom, magic happens.
It's not spicy, it's not tangy. But it's, I want to say bold. The outside is really appealing, right? And just the presentation. Presentation is everything.
I think the reason why they did this because it evenly cooks the chorizo inside. So that normally when you cook chorizo, it's harder to determine the temperature inside of it. So what they do is they make little incisions so that the heat can go through it and then cook it to the perfect temperature. So that's actually a pretty good technique. Dude, that chorizo and this steak is
Oh man, my bad.
my cheese. The iconic the head nod. Sweetness.
Mouth watering.
Let's try the rice a little bit too.
This hits the spot. I'm definitely gonna have the itis after this.
You can never forget about the cheese. Cheese is a great addition to the dish.
I like how this represents some of the major food groups, right? You have your dairy, you have your greens, you have your meat. I'm not sure what this is, but
Oh, it's like a vegetable. And then you have like your green.
all part of your, and you have the beans, the legumes.
All right, so next guys we have the crunchy tacos. So you got the spicy pork, right?
You got the spicy pork.
So let's give it a taste to see what it is all about.
All right, guys, let's put the lime on it. You know, real authentic. Love tacos.
Wow,
Love tacos.
look at the portion. It's really generous portion.
Very generous.
Yeah, you have like nice tomatoes, cheese, shredded cheese.
Shredded lettuce.
Yeah, yep, exactly.
Put some cheese
And you even
on
got the green sauce and red sauce. I believe the green sauce is like some type of picante, like a spiciness.
it. Yeah, the
maybe?
spiciness.
Yeah, so that one I can't wait to try with the taco.
All right, guys.
All right.
Azteca tuna, you feel me? You know, although it's spicy pork, I can't taste any of the spiciness. Maybe because I offset the spice with the lime juice, or maybe because we had so many spicy food earlier
Yeah.
in the start of the film. My taste buds are adapting to heat.
So let's see. Yeah, let me try it out too.
I love the combination of the vegetables, the cheese, and the lettuce, but the meat itself, I would say, is a little bland. A little bland.
Well, let's see. Like I'm trying to try the tacos. I don't taste much of the spiciness to it, but it's juicy though. Like I definitely like the juiciness of the meat. It attributes to the taste, overall taste, as it soaks into the corn tortilla taco. So I like it, but like the spiciness it's hidden. I can't really find it too much.
The meat is somewhat bland. I was wanting to taste the spiciness of the pork. I love spiciness, but I don't feel any heat coming from it.
So that gives it more of a kick if you want to try dip into that.
Is that more of a kick?
Yeah. Because right now, like I think it activates the spiciness of it.
Maybe that was a secret ingredient.
Probably, but off the bat, like it's not as spicy, but it's like juicy, flavorful meat.
I see.
Just was more spice in it. I wish there was more spice, but with that sauce, I think it gives it the right amount of tasted it. I'm sorry, the spiciness of it.
That's it.
Yeah. So I feel like you have to add this one to make it feel more spicy, or to accentuate the taste of it. All right, guys. So we're moving on to the last entree we have, which is la Petuga a la Mexicana. So this is like a more Mexican style chicken breast. So let's give it a try. After you.
All right.
Skye. I can see off the bat, you can see all the sauce that's underneath the chicken. So hopefully it gives it a lot of flavor.
Now let's see.
Love it.
There's an assortment of flavors that rushes to you. You take the first bite.
Alright. Let's.
Black pepper. I taste paprika. They seasoned this very well.
Yeah.
They seasoned very well.
That is it. So the sauce, unique flavor to it. Wow, this is actually fantastic. Damn, it's like stuck between this. They did it justice. Whatever the sauce is, that was fantastic. Like I don't even. Wow. Dude, that's really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow. So guys, like this is so far these two dishes are off the charts. I definitely recommend you guys try these two dishes out because like the taco is good. Don't get me wrong, it's good. We tried the spicy pork, which is like I wish there was more spices to it, but it was good nonetheless. However, these two dishes are to die for. You have to try these dishes. Fantastic. Like I don't even know how else to describe it. This guy, it's just good,
Amazing.
So guys, honestly, this was actually really fantastic. I actually enjoyed the chicken. I think though, out of the three dishes, I have to give it to the chicken. The chicken has so much sweet flavor in it. This complexity of the vegetables completes it. So I definitely like that. But as far as portion wise, I'd go with the Azteca steak, just because like it has not only the steak, it has the vegetables, it has cheese, it has the chorizo, all that together is a good portion, and just for a good price, that's a lot, to be honest. I genuinely loved it.
I would definitely have to go with the spicy guacamole. Right off the back, I fell in love with it, as well as the Mexican style corn. I fell in love with that as well. For the entrees, I would go with the chicken as well.
So guys, that's pretty much our food review. Honestly, I enjoyed every aspect of this, especially the appetizer. It actually caught me pretty off guard. I didn't think there'd be so much flavor in the guac, and that was pretty good. Honestly, I agree with you, man. The guac and the corn were the best like appetizers, I think, in my opinion, for this restaurant. Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. You know, I second that. The Mexican street corn, like I said, guys, I'm not a corn person. It was my first time trying it. Now I know when I come back here, when I go to other authentic Mexican restaurants, I'm trying the Mexican corn right off the bat. That's right off the bat. I promise you. And hold me to that promise. When you are watching that, hold me to that promise.
Yeah. So honestly, guys, like the entrees were flavorful. I love them. My favorite one, like I said, is the chicken. But you can never go wrong with any of the other ones. Like I think second place would definitely go to the skirt steak Azteca. That was amazing with the chorizo, with the vegetable, with the cheese. Honestly, I feel like home because some of my grandma sometimes makes these dishes, and they're so amazing. So definitely it hits me hard at home. Like I love these type of dishes. They're one of my favorites. Yeah. So honestly, I can't complain. This is actually really good, guys. This is really authentic Mexican cuisine, so definitely try it out. I definitely recommend it. They're probably the best type of food I've ever tasted so far. So guys, that pretty much concludes our review on Mezcal in Jersey City, New Jersey. So guys, remember, stay safe, 6 feet, social distance, and take care.